Hashtag foam.
All right.
Foam City.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to HHWJ. We are back. I have Tom Lauer over here. Say hi, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
And I have Dave.
Dave.
Hey, Dave.
Hi.
And we have our special guest, Jamie Nummer. Hey, James.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
It is going well. How's your day?
Excellent.
Your day's excellent?
It's really good, yeah.
Huh.
Wow.
Interesting.
That might
Well,
be
now
a
that I'm-
podcast answer.
Now
I
that
know. I
I'm
think it
with-
was a podcast answer.
Now that I'm with you guys, all
Oh.
collectively,
You do have a drink in front of you now, too.
and I have a beverage.
You definitely do. Jamie, tell us a little bit about yourself to start it off.
A little bit about myself, okay? What do you want to know?
Anything.
Just an extraordinary guy,
Okay.
does real estate.
An extraordinary guy who does real estate.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Tell us about your path that led you where you are today.
The path.
Mm-hmm.
You're digging deep, Jamie.
What are you getting at? Just be specific.
That's as much as I'm giving you.
Okay.
Tell me where you came from and where you're at.
Well, I'm from Ionia, little town
Go
in the
Bulldogs.
middle of the state. Go Bulldogs! And I moved over here about 10 years to the Detroit area. And
Why?
why? I met someone and
Oh.
got married. Yes.
Okay.
And you went down the wrong path.
Well, no, it was the right path that led me to here. You know,
Aw.
we're just going straight personal here.
Oh, yeah, we are. So you moved to Detroit 10 years ago.
Yes.
And what were you
2007.
doing when you
When-
moved to Detroit?
When I moved to Detroit, I had just finished playing music and took a little break and went to work at Quicken Loans. I had been in the mortgage business for, 10 years before that. And the crash was happening. And I said, all right, where am I going to go so I can make money? And I went to Quicken.
In Quicken.
So, wait, let's back up. Let's talk about your music.
You want to go way back? Okay.
Yeah, we want to go
Let's go to
way back.
music.
So, let's go
Okay.
to music. I've the pleasure of knowing you because we share the same blood.
We do.
I've seen you in some music rock videos, like some real on MTV music videos. Is that right?
Yes, and you've seen some pretty killer shows, too.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
When you were like doing shows, was your hair thicker than it is now?
So hold on. Time out. I gotta take over. I gotta take over right here. So this guy told me today that he had hair down past his ass.
That's
when he was
true.
25.
That's true.
That's true.
It's fascinating.
So I've been playing music since way back. I've toured and been all over the country, and played well over 1,000 shows in my life. I've played for 5 people, and I've played for 25,000 people. So, yeah,
What instruments do you play?
guitar and bass, a little skin flute occasionally.
Really?
Wait, did they say that?
No, I don't know. No one's ever said it. I
I mean,
guess so. We're
why
here
not?
now.
Yeah.
Just going there.
The censors did not dump you.
So,
We're good.
so yeah.
All right, so you played music. You moved to Detroit. You worked at Quicken.
Yeah.
How long were you at Quicken?
I was at Quicken for 3.5 years, something like that.
Glorious. years.
Glorious
How was that?
years. It was it was really tough, super challenging, and I knew it was going to be challenging, but it was kind of like sales boot camp, for all intents and purposes. And I just applied myself, and I did okay.
Okay. And then
rumor has it you won the Rookie of the Year award at Quicken
Rookie
Loans.
Banker of the Year award. I did in 2009.
do you get a trophy for that?
It was an awesome plaque, and it had a DeLorean model car attached to it, and the doors open and everything. I felt pretty special, and they did give away. It was like an 80s day or something, so everybody had to dress up, and so anyway, I went on stage and got the award, so that was pretty cool.
JP, do you know what a DeLorean is?
I do not. That's why I shook my head like,
Oh.
okay.
Back to the Future car opens like that.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
Goes 88 miles an hour.
Okay, so you left Quicken and you stuck with mortgages
I did.
and you got into real estate.
Yeah, just a few years ago, got into real estate. Yes.
When did you write your first loan, Jamie? What year was it when you wrote your first ever loan?
The year 2001.
Wow.
I wrote my first loan, and that was, I just got into it. A buddy of mine was into it, and we happened to be roommates in the Marriott downtown Grand Rapids across from the Bob, and we were having a great time. And that's when I was touring and doing stuff. So I decided to do mortgages so I could tour and still live life. And I did my first loan on my bed. I had this file spread out. I was like, okay, so I got a loan. Now what?
Well, how
Did it close?
Ooh,
Yeah.
good question.
Yeah, it did actually.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Do you
Good.
remember the street name or the last name of the client?
No, I don't.
Do you remember
Okay.
the price?
It was a VA loan, I can tell you that.
Okay.
Full bips.
Big one.
Yeah.
So, how was the mortgage business different back in 2001 compared to what it's like now?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it was very different. You basically you could just fog a mirror, basically, and get a loan. Stated income, stated assets. It was pretty wild.
That would have
Pretty
made my life a lot easier when I just bought a house.
Well, yeah, it was a lot easier, and that was the problem, right? So underwriting guidelines were really loose, and the money that was made back then, I saw a lot of people charge, because you could charge any amount of points on a mortgage application, and that's all profit. So as long as the lender got the rate that they were looking for, you could add on to it and make 4 or 5 plus points.
Wow.
on a
It's not like
mortgage.
that anymore.
It is not like that anymore. Good thing.
Really, really skinny now. The margins have compressed from 2001 to now. So now, you're lucky to make 2.5 points on a loan, right?
Right.
So are there a lot less mortgage guys out there now?
I think there are fewer guys, because not everyone could get licensed, right? The people that were writing loans before, let's just say one of the stipulations when the licensing laws changed, you couldn't have felonies and other things on your background, and so not everyone qualified for a mortgage license.
And you have to take a test now.
So you got your record expunged, or how did that whole thing go down?
Well, trash in hotel rooms and that kind of stuff doesn't really show up. On
Oh,
that kind of
gotcha.
stuff, you know?
Jamie, so how long have you been with us now? How long have you been with Real Team?
It's been like 2.5 months now, something
So
like that. Yeah.
75 days or so.
Mm-hmm.
What have the last 75 days looked like for you?
It's been like being dropped into a wind tunnel, kind of like when I went to Quicken. It's throwing myself into the mix and learning to digest and take everything and try to keep up with all the exceptional figures around me. I mean, there's some pretty exceptional people in this company. So,
Jamie, can you name one thing that sticks with you that you hear him say every single day on the phones?
One thing that sticks from that Jamie says every day on the
Yeah,
phone?
I mean, he says the same exact stuff on the phone every single day.
I was asked to give you a call.
That's the one.
That's the best thing ever. And I brought it to Oak Park, and everyone uses it there now.
oh really?
Yeah. So
Can you guys role play that? Because I don't know if I've heard it.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so I'm a web lead, right?
Yeah.
And
Ring, ring.
it's not new web leads to be clear,
The
right?
P2s,
it's not.
right?
Yeah, like P2s, like
Yeah,
people who
P2.
haven't been
Okay.
talked to. And go ahead.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Jamie, this is Jamie over here at Real Team Real Estate. I was actually asked to give you a phone call today. How you doing?
You were? Who asked you to give me a phone call?
Yeah, actually, the owners asked me to reach out to you today. Just the market's
I
really
love
hot.
this.
And
It's so good.
I love that.
It's so good. So the ISA at Oak Park uses it now.
it's huge.
Yeah, it's great.
That's
Because
it.
if someone says I'm asking
Takeaway
you
alert.
to call, people are like, "What the fuck?
Who
Okay."
asked you?
Right.
Well, actually, the owners of the company want to make sure we're reaching out to
a
everybody
great
in our
one.
database.
It's so good.
The person on the other end feels important,
Yeah,
right? Like, what do you mean? The owners?
The
wanted me to-
owners?
Oh, okay.
right.
If they knew the owners, they would not feel important, but they do because they don't know who they are.
Well, it's perception's reality, right?
I think the owners are awesome.
Okay, calm down. All right,
you.
so let's rewind. So you've been with us for 2.5 months. Why did you decide to come to Real Team after you were pretty successful in mortgages? You were a partner in a real estate company, right?
Yeah.
So why did you decide, hey, I'm going to come to Real Team with all these young little turds running around blasting music all the time?
Strength in numbers.
Keep going.
Strength in numbers and quality of people, integrity, environment. I like to be pushed. I like to be around people that also like to be challenged, that also like to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And not everyone's accepting or wants to be in that environment. And I guess I'm kind of a freak. I like the punishment. I like it. So
They say you're the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with, right? So
that's a big thing for me.
Kind of plays into that.
It's a really big thing for me because there are high quality people and high level people here, and that's who I want. I want people that I look up to and go, wow, that I want a piece of a part of what they do or how they are.
So real estate industry for 18 years.
Yeah, 18, 20, yeah.
And you've been with Real Team for 75 days. So what have you learned at Real Team that maybe, I don't know, you picked up, blew your mind, or just something you just didn't know in the previous 18 years?
I don't know that not that I know everything, but I wouldn't say that it's anything that was revealed that I haven't seen before, because I've seen a lot of stuff and met a lot of people, and obviously Quicken had the similar environment, exceptional people. But the same thing keeps being reaffirmed, and that's the uncomfortable. Surround yourself with amazing people. And, I guess the one thing I will say, thinking about it, is it's more of a kind of a family clique that happens here. There's more of a family vibe with everyone, whereas some of the other places, yes, it's competitive, but this is more, people are more engaged and, what's the word I'm looking for? Not in tune, but they're bought into each other, right? There's some loyalty, there's some mutual respect, and they're bought into everyone's well-being, from the ownership down to, people cleaning. I see people cleaning. They come in here. That turns out they know someone from the family, and that's how they came into this whole thing, and they know everybody as well. So it all fits together.
I bet you that Jamie learned that he's really good at asking close-ended questions on the phone. He loves them.
I learned that I developed so many bad habits over the last couple of years, and I got
Well, let me ask you something about that. So how often were you coached in the last 2 years?
Never.
Right? So I think that's part of the big difference. When you're come from an environment where you're constantly coached, like at Quicken,
Yeah.
and you've got your director breathing down your neck, listening to every phone call, and then you get away from that, and boy, that lack of accountability feels so good.
Well, unless you've been in that environment and you're comfortable with that, you're not going to ask for it by name. So the flip side, I'm the leader at the other company, and people are like, I don't want anything to do with this intense, in-your-face accountability, transparency thing. So, no, I didn't get that
Right.
at all. People were scared of it.
Well, we're not scared of that, right, Jamie?
We're not scared of that. My favorite thing ever is to interrupt Jamie when Jamie will be on the phone and he'll ask a close-ended question, and I'll just scream no in the background, and then he just looks at me and
It's totally true.
hits himself in the head. He's like, "Fuck!"
I swear,
He's like, "I know I lost that one. I know I lost that one."
I swear I had a nightmare. I just woke up to you saying no about some close-ended question. I'm like, what the hell's even going on right now?
Oh, it's so good.
Jamie Proper has become your conscience.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God help us.
Oh, God.
Hey, it's not a good conscience. I was gonna try to. No, it's not good.
But let's just be truthful. That hasn't happened in quite some time. At least a week.
At least I haven't been there in a few days.
At least a week.
All right. Why would so you're at Real Team now? You are kind of getting back to your old ways. You're in it. You know what you're doing. Why would a client pick you over any other agent? Why would someone want to work with you?
Because I care and I know a lot.
That's very broad.
Okay. Well, clients are more than just a transaction to me. It's more than just, hey, I want to close your deal so I can get paid. It matters to me, what their family goals are, what they're trying to accomplish and when, and, understanding their situation. And it somewhat works against me because, I'm a bit of an empath. So you got to be careful about getting sucked into situations, and, you can't ever care too much, but, I'm invested. I'm vested in the deal.
I don't think it's a bad thing to be I mean, we talk about this all the time and being empathetic, right? I think
It's important.
that's how you bond with someone. That's how you build rapport. That's how you get them to trust you, right?
Yeah.
But there's a difference between being empathetic and being emotionally invested, right? In my opinion.
Well, yeah, of course. Of course. But I mean, I don't think it's ever a bad move to care about someone. You know what I mean?
Set up a setup. I hear a setup conversation going on.
You
here.
do?
What are you getting at?
I'm not getting at anything. I think that's in your head. What do you think I'm getting at?
Yeah, what do you think she's getting at?
Yeah.
I was warned. I'm just saying. I was warned before I came in here.
About
All these
what?
Crazy questions.
There's no crazy questions. We're just having a convo, bud.
Let me have it.
Tommy, you got something for him? I think he's ready for something, but
Yeah, who was the last person you were with and why? Oh, just kidding.
no, don't tell us that, please. All right, buddy. So, what does the first 90 minutes of your day look like? What do you do in the morning?
The first 90 days from the time I open my eyes or from the time I hit the office?
First 90 minutes of your day from when your eyes open. What's your morning routine look like?
Oh,
Yeah.
Your
okay.
first hour and a half of the day, what's that look like?
First hour and a half is,
If it's consistent.
it is consistent. I wake up and I make a
You
cup of
wake up.
4:30, 5 o'clock.
Which one is that? Because you said it was consistent.
Mostly 4:30.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to
Mostly
clarify.
4:30.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then I make a cup of coffee and I meditate and I journal and I do some yoga and I focus on breathing and that's it.
How long is that routine?
It's about an hour and a half.
So it's an hour of meditation, yoga, journaling.
Yeah.
Got it.
Breathing.
And you have, at your age, you have one of those pill containers, like the Monday through Sunday thing. I'm assuming that you break that open.
Not for prescription medication.
So you said you journal without getting too personal. Like, what is it that you journal about? Is it work? Is it life? Is it both?
It's a lot of some life stuff, but it's mostly about my relationship with God and my relationship with my spiritual being and what I do, who I'm becoming.
Cool.
I love that. That's great. Jamie, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Going back to, you just being at Real Team with us.
Yeah.
What's the biggest challenge of just being the oldest agent at Real Team? Like, what do you think's tough about it?
I hope Fred Brown's not listening. He'd be upset.
What's tough about being the oldest guy in the room?
Yeah.
Damn, Tom, you just
knowing
Fred
more
Brown.
than anyone else? I don't know. Having more experience than all of these idiots? I don't know. What is it?
Ignorance is bliss sometimes. I just think that all you guys are so damn happy all the time that I was like, man, you could really stand to see some fucked up situations in your life. No, I'm kidding. But no, it's a different perspective, which is kind of why I'm there, to be around all that young energy and stuff. So yeah, I'm the old guy in the room, which is kind of weird. I don't feel like the oldest guy in the room, which is kind of you guys don't see that. But.
I feel like it makes you younger. And for me anyway, because I'm one of the older ones there, and I feel like being surrounded by all the young blood really does something to you. It honestly makes you younger. You start thinking younger and acting younger, and it's just, I think it's a good thing.
Especially when you hear a 21-year-old kid closing his butt off on the phone, you're like, damn, okay, that's awesome.
If only it could heal that bum knee of yours. You'd be golden.
Right.
Speaking of the knee, so
I can't wait.
hey, so
Well, wait, what happened? I know he had a knee injury. How did this happen?
yeah, I mean, so tell us about that listing appointment you went on.
This is so messed up. Okay, so I joined Real Team, and I'm working my ass off to get listing appointments, and trying to do the thing, get back in the mix, and I talk to this client. I go to their house. They want to see.
Wait, where's the house?
Yeah,
Where'd you go?
that's what we need
Let's
to
fill
know.
this in with some details.
Well, the house is in like Armada or something. Is where I met them, where they live, and that house has got construction going on. It's just a lot of stuff going on. So they say we want to buy investment properties, and they're showing me bank accounts. Okay.
They
Great.
They
Detroit.
proofed up.
They proofed up. All right. Detroit. No, they want to go to Flint.
Yeah.
Even better. Flint
Love
town, baby.
that.
Okay. So we're going to Flint. And you know, I just had this gut feeling about going to Flint. I was like, I shouldn't be doing this.
It's a drive.
Late in the day. I just don't feel that this is what okay, I'm doing it because I'm hungry. Dave was in my head. Dave's like, you got to do everything you can to get some business going. And, you know, you can't turn away from the business and you just got to make it happen. I'm like, all right, shit, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going
So what time of the day was this at?
It's like 6 o'clock,
Man.
6 p.m.
6
James, just a side note, you know that's where I grew up, right?
in
Born
Flint.
and raised. Genesee County, baby.
Yeah.
And I
Davison.
spent 30 days in the clink there.
Oh, I know. I know some
Jimmy
girls.
from Davison.
I know some girls from Davison.
Yeah, they're good.
Oh, yeah. So anyway.
Reel it in.
Anyway, we're reeling it in. So I went to Flint to show these houses. And it was getting late. And this is kind of a weird thing. So show the first house, and it's starting to get a little bit darker. We go to the second house. It was supposed to be a duplex, but they had this weird part of the house that was cordoned off, and you couldn't get to it. And I happened to notice as we were walking through this house, must have been an older couple or something that lived there that left because a lot of their belongings were still there. And I happened to notice this wooden pair of crutches sitting against this thing. And for some reason, I was like, wow, those are old crutches. They just like stuck out to me for some reason.
I feel like Jamie's about to tell us like a horror story.
I'm weird. I'm connected like this. So this happens. So anyway, I see the crutches, and I think, we leave the house to go find this other entryway. Well, I don't walk slow. Well, when I don't have a bum knee, I don't walk slow. I'm on a clip, right? It's like I'm walking around the house, and I didn't see the pavement kind of shifted in the back, and it was completely iced over. So I went to turn the corner to go toward this back door. And next thing you know, I slam on the ground. And this is really traumatic. It like gave me chills to think about this for days after. Next thing you know, I'm writhing on the ground. My kneecap is on the side of my leg. Oh. And I'm just like, oh, shit. And I grabbed my kneecap and jammed it back into place.
All right, man.
And and sorry if it's too graphic, but this
well,
is real.
I just don't know why you jammed it back into place.
It needs to go somewhere.
As
Because
if you're like.
It was not in the right place. It was on the side of my leg.
So did your clients help you at that point?
Well,
Yeah, what were the clients doing at this point?
You played it off for sure. You played it. Like, it's all good. I'm fine.
no, I didn't play it off.
There's like blood coming
Let's go
from
grab
his
them
eyes.
crutches.
Let's be honest. So I looked at my clients and I go, so I just put my kneecap back in place, and if you could help me stand up, I have to go to the hospital now. And my client's like, oh, you'll be fine. Just walk it off. You know, you'll be fine. I'm like, I
some
just
dirt on
looked at her. I go, I just looked at her. I go, I'm sorry, we're done today.
So did you drive to the hospital?
And I need you to walk back in the house and go get those crutches.
You remembered the crutches.
The crutches were like first thing in my brain. Holy shit, there's crutches in there. I need them. So I made the client go back in. I'm shaking like crazy. I'm in Flint. Okay, do you think I'm going to the ER in Flint? Flint's, I'm sure it's fine, but I'm not going to go to the ER in Flint.
I mean,
Hey,
I don't know.
it's Hurley?
No.
Hurley.
Yeah.
Well, there's
Hurley.
Hurley there,
Yeah.
but you know, you got some options there. You could have went right to Grand Blanc.
It's just outside
Right.
my comfort zone. So
So you drove home.
I drove
You drove home.
home to.
Is it your leg that you drive with or no?
I'm driving a 6-speed, so
Oh,
I have
you
to
got a
work.
clutch.
I have to work the clutch.
Wow, you're one of 17 people that's driving a manual right now. I
My
love it.
right leg is blowing up as I'm driving the 45 minutes, and it was extremely painful. But I made it, and as soon as I made it to the hospital, I pulled into the emergency room. I tried to jump out of the car and just like kind of fell. And the guy looks at me, hey, do you need some help? And I was like, yeah, if you get me a wheelchair. And I get inside, and then the one guy, the security guy, is like, hey, you got to move your car. And I just looked at him. I go, it's not moving. He's like, well, I'm going to have to tow it. And I go, well, you're just going to have to do what you have to do then.
Oh, no.
Did you offer him your keys? Like you could
I did.
move
I was
it,
like,
sir?
would you please move it for me? And he's like, all right. And then he comes back, I can't drive a stick.
Oh, no.
Damn.
Millennials.
Yeah, so
So I got a funny story about getting hurt and having to drive a stick shift too. So once upon a time, it was like,
This is interesting.
this is like 2003. So I'm like just a couple years out of high school. And we decided we're going to sneak into the stadium at Dakota High School, which is where I went to high school,
nice.
and play football. And so we had to jump a 12-foot fence to get onto the field because the gate was locked.
Of course.
And and you guys, I mean, anybody that knows me knows I'm unathletic as fuck. Like it is what it is. I can't play sports.
I've seen the video of you trying to stand up on a
on a
paddleboard.
Oh yeah,
That's
It's
great.
not good. I'm not athletic. I'm not athletic. Anyways, so
You're good at other things.
yeah. So anyways, so we're first play of the game. I'm on defense, and I'm lining up against a dude that's probably like 5'10", 260, just brick shit house. And he catches the ball, and I'm gonna go and I'm skinny at this time. I'm like $170. I'm like a little heavier than Zach Burko at the time.
Fearless.
So I go to tackle him, and I bear hug him, and pull him down, and he lands on my left shoulder, and I hit the ground with my right shoulder and snap my right shoulder blade. Just crack it, just instant. First play of the game, and I have no other option but to jump a 12-foot fence again. So I climb up a 12-foot chain link fence, just one arm,
Chicken wing.
one-armed it, get across the fence, and there's really not a good way to kind of like grab myself so I can climb down the fence. So I have to jump from 12 feet
Break your arm.
and land blunt force on the ground with a broken shoulder. My right arm, by the way. And then at the time I had a Mustang 5-speed, and I had to like
Shift with it.
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
man.
Yeah. So it was like I was out with like a broken shoulder blade for 6 weeks, but good as new now.
That's sexy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yikes.
Yeah, that sucked.
Well, I would love to share a story about me breaking something, but I haven't.
You've never broke a bone.
Oh no, you got to tell the ski jump story where you broke your wrist.
Oh yeah, I guess snowboarding I did break a wrist and knock myself out, but
It's
whatever.
not that exciting.
What I learned about that experience is, man, morphine's a great drug. Straight to the
Strength in numbers.
vein. Whoa. Anyway,
All right, let's get to what Jamie loves the most in life. Homes for Heroes.
Oh yeah.
let's talk about
Big
that.
fan of Homes for Heroes
Why?
because I love to give back. I love charity. I just love giving to other people, and
Same question. Why?
First of all, what is Homes for Heroes? Can we clarify? Because there's some people listening to this.
Yeah.
All 17 of them. I guess maybe 12 of them maybe wouldn't
Yeah.
know
Whoa,
what it
whoa,
is.
whoa. We had 18 last week.
Listen.
So Homes for Heroes is a program for police, fire, EMS, first responders, teachers, nurses, local heroes that get back to the community. Healthcare workers. And simply put, we give those people 25% of our commission, or up to 25% of our commission, as a direct rebate back at closing. So if you're a hero, you get money from the transaction back to you as a reward. And you also get credits from lenders, and we're working on some other movers and adding inspectors. And
So let me just do the math real quick, Jamie. It seems to me like if I was a cop and I wanted to buy a house, and I'm looking at a $200,000 house,
yeah,
I buy the house just like I normally would, but instead I use Homes for Heroes or Real Team, and they're going to give me $1,500 back. Is
yeah,
that-
just on the real estate side. You'll get credit from the lender as well. You'll get a discount on the home inspection, and we're working on some other discounts. So yes.
So at closing, they're literally handed a check for the 25% of the real estate commission.
It can be at closing. Usually it's mailed to them after the closing,
Okay.
but we can have it added to the transaction.
Seems like a huge benefit for those people.
It's massive. So let me give you a
Because I
recent
know that
story.
it's, being a broker, I know that if I were to do a real estate transaction for even my mom, right, I can't just cut her a check at closing. It's outside
Illegal?
the guidelines. It's illegal.
Yeah.
So how is it even legal? How can we do this?
Well, Homes for Heroes was started after 9/11 as a way of giving back to first responders. It's a 501c3,
Okay.
and so it's administered, and the program is administered correctly
Got
by
it.
the law.
So it's actually a charity. It's the money's flowing through a charity and going back to a hero.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. And there are funds through the Homes for Heroes Foundation that go back to police and fire individuals or organizations to cover living expenses if someone gets hurt. So there are dollars that go back into the community from Homes for Heroes. aside from what the hero gets at their from the closing.
So I was recently at your desk and saw a trophy, I guess, on your
Yeah.
desk
Yeah,
from
super proud of that.
yeah. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, that's from the 11th precinct, in Detroit. Shout out to D-Rob and Eric and Mel.
D-Rob,
D-Rob,
karaoke skills.
Mel and Eric. I love those guys. Anyway, so we supported the Heroes Ball, and I've been involved with the Detroit Police for a couple of years now, and in and out of the precincts and helping heroes, and so they gave me an award for.
What's
the
that look
contribution.
like? How did you inject yourself into the Detroit Police Department? Like how's that work?
Well, he was in the drunk tank
Just
a
get
couple
pulled
times.
over?
But,
Yeah.
Easy now. Easy
Sitting in
now.
Wayne County? What's
No, yeah, right. No, actually, I helped a couple of police officers, and had been involved with the Homes for Heroes program for a couple of years, and then had a realization. Hey, Mr. Police Officer, what's your boss's name? Let me talk to your boss. And so I talked to that person, and that person said, hey, you gotta talk to this other person. And so I went up the chain and got it approved from the powers that be at the board level.
Got what approved?
The program, the Homes for Heroes program. At the board level, they gave me a blanket. Yes, you can go to the precincts and talk about this. And so I started showing up at precincts and presenting. And
How's that? What's that look like?
I show up and say, hey, I'm here from Homes for Heroes. And
So you're like in the police
I'm
station.
recognized, so I can walk in and I can walk into a precinct, and I have relationships with people now. So
And it's like when they're doing their, what do they call that? When everybody's
roll
standing
call.
Yeah, roll call.
Okay, so
it's their
roll
briefing.
call,
Their briefing at the beginning of the
and they're talking
beginning of
about
the
all
show.
the crimes that have happened
Yeah.
and what's going on, the bad guys are looking for, and then you get a shot to talk to them.
Yeah, get a few minutes to say, hey, here's Homes for Heroes. Here's the deal. Here's how it works. And so
I mean, these are all tough Detroit cops. Is that a tough group to befriend?
well, on the exterior, yeah, because if you saw
It'd be intimidating to me. I mean,
if you saw a rap sheet or you saw what these guys do every single night, what one car represents two people or whatever, a roll call sheet represents for one person and the calls they take in a night. Every 15 minutes, they're at a different burglary, kidnapping, violent drugs, blah, 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 gunshots. Every 15 minutes for 8 hours. Like, I would be traumatized after
you
one
think what
shift.
we do is hard.
Right.
Right.
I cried last night, but
Buck up, right?
Wow.
Nobody shot at you last night. And, that, all seriousness, that's a big deal. That's why I'm honored to be down there.
I was gonna say, is that where the passion comes from?
Yeah.
It's just like recognizing that what these guys do, not many people can do.
That and I've learned that these are really amazing people. From working with them, it's some of the just the salt of the earth best people that I've ever worked with. They're just great people. Jamie, you've met a few of them, and
me and D-Rob have a video out there, I think. It's pretty good.
We have a lot of videos out there.
I
Jimmy.
love it when you call me Big Pop.
Yeah, there it is. I broke it down with them.
you did. It was just amazing people. So that's why.
Awesome.
Asked you not to talk about
That's
those videos.
that's God's work there.
It is God's work. It is for sure.
That's awesome. Dave,
Hold
what
on, one more question on Homes for Heroes. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Please, let's talk about that.
So, I think we have a goal, right? Because Real Team has decided to get, with you coming to Real Team, really one of the things that you brought besides your experience was the Homes for Heroes program. And
Right.
anybody can sign up for it, right? Anybody can
course.
do it. But
Anyone.
it's all about the doing that makes the difference.
It is.
And you're the guy that's actually been working the system, working the program, working Homes for Heroes to really make it work. So what are the top real estate teams in the country that are doing Homes for Hero? What's the most transactions that they've done? The number one team.
That's a great question. This sets us up where we're going. So Real Team is going to be the number one Homes for Heroes affiliate in the country, on short order.
Say that with confidence.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, we looked at the numbers. It's gonna happen.
I've had this picture in my mind since I've started 4 years, and now that Real Team's part of the picture, that's definitely doable. So the top affiliate in the country did 202 transactions last year.
Okay.
We can smash that just based on the marketing area that we have as a territory. We have claimed it's worth several hundred transactions. It's just, all of us putting our heads together to
Doing
go
the
out.
work.
You got to go out and you got to meet with the police chiefs, and you got to figure out how to get. I'll be honest with you. Part of me getting into the police precincts and the fire stations is I just show up and knock on the door. Hey, I'm here, and I've gotten kicked out of a few places. I've gotten like, hey, what the hell are you doing in my precinct? Like,
Well, you're used to that. You show up at like a lot of parties and stuff, and they're like, "Come on, guy, you weren't invited."
well, come on. I mean, I did. So go back to the rock thing. I did get my bands go from a no-name like cover band to getting signed to Universal Records. I figured out if you can figure out how to knock on doors of promoters and people that are in music business, you can get other people to respond.
Right.
You just got to rattle the cage 10 times harder.
That's awesome.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see where it goes because it's such a good thing. But
I am, and we're already seeing success from it.
Yeah, we already have
on a small
we have
scale,
deals.
obviously, but we already have a handful of deals.
Yeah.
That, I mean, it's awesome.
Rich has got a deal.
Danny Frawley's got a deal.
Rich has got one that's going to be. They're going to sell their house at $250,000. They're going to buy a $400,000 home. The Hero's going to see almost $7,000 come back to them as a rebate.
awesome.
But that's $600,000 or $700,000 in volume that Real Team wouldn't have seen. But the Heroes program snagged them, and now they love us.
Of course.
Right.
And they'll tell their friends
And
about
they're going to
us.
tell their friend. I mean, think about what a Detroit police officer does. He rides in a car with his buddy all day, fighting bad guys, but they're shoulder to shoulder all day.
Talking about it.
That guy's going to talk about this benefit that he got through Real Team.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It makes sense that we're going to see a huge amount of volume with these guys. The referrals are going to be like just rolling.
I can't wait to see the whole company charged up behind it. Obviously, it's a test case, and
Nobody knows about it. You know
Nobody
what I
knows
mean?
about it
Like,
yet.
The company, I mean, Southfield, you guys know about it, but, nobody really knows about it that well yet.
yeah.
The only way to, those Facebook pages, right? There are 2 other Facebook pages.
What's the name of the Facebook pages?
Homes
ours?
for Heroes. Michigan?
Just Homes for Heroes.
Homes
Michigan.
for Heroes, Michigan.
Yeah, Homes for Heroes, Michigan. Go give it a like. I think we're over 200 right now, right? In less than a week's time.
270,
and
230.
The highest page, the next highest page is like 80.
Yeah.
We had
great.
80 in like an hour.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So it's just getting the word out. It's just talking about it. It's just executing at a very high level. It's preparation and execution really is what it comes down to. So the thing is there's nobody, and nobody that's equipped to handle this at such a large scale, right? Like, it takes a village, right? It takes every single person's like just focused effort and getting this done and getting it done the right way to help as many people as possible.
I talked to Tom about this. We have to do Homes for Heroes and figure out how to make all this work and make those contacts. Well, we do what we do every day. You still got to be up on the phone doing listing appointments. You still have to be hustling and pushing. It doesn't mean I'm doing Homes for Heroes, so I don't have to do this.
Right.
You still have to hustle, and then you got to figure out how to make connections and expand your territory.
Right. This is a different layer of what we teach all of our new agents, right? So we always teach prospecting, right? We've got that down. Everybody knows you got to prospect 2 hours a day. This is the next level. This is almost project management,
Relationships.
if you will. Yeah, it's relationship building, project management. It's another layer of, hey, how do I really guarantee success in real estate? Not only do I prospect 2 hours a day, but I'm also executing at a high level, creating relationships with organizations for a great cause to in turn get repeat business over and over again from people that are doing the good things in our community.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, the good news is, Jamie, like you mentioned at the beginning, that you have Real Team behind you now.
Yes.
And Real Team has never
So
said
excited
that they
about
were
that.
going to do something or set their minds to something that they didn't do because Tom and Danny are so fucking hard-headed.
Well,
They're
that's
gonna take no
not
for an
true. So
answer.
I signed up for Homes for Heroes with Real Team.
well before.
well
time ago.
before, and I failed at it. I completely failed at
Like
it.
most people.
Because I thought it was I looked at it the wrong way. I looked at it as, okay, sign up for this, then I'm going to get a bunch of leads from cops and firefighters that want to do real estate.
Yep.
That's it. Wrong.
Nope.
I got 0 leads.
Well, so here's the thing. So for everybody listening, read my lips. Nothing. There's no such thing as a free lunch, right?
No.
Like it's the law of attraction, right? If you
Despise
put
the free lunch.
despise the free lunch.
Oh, Jay Number knows that one. No one
Oh,
else
yeah.
listening does.
We were talking
though.
about that a couple weeks ago. We mentioned that we were cracking a joke about it, and Jamie's ears perked up. He's like, "Whoa!" He's like, "How do you guys know about that?"
Yeah.
So-
How do you know about that?
When I was like 19 years old, he showed me that book, and he was like, don't ever show anybody this book.
Which
You
book are we
showed me
talking
that
He
about?
showed us.
You showed me that book. You're like,
48
don't ever,
Laws of
you're,
Power.
You're like, don't ever show anybody this book.
Now I
48
have
Laws
the,
of Power.
I showed Jamie the app. Now I have the app on my phone.
Oh, the app's great too.
Oh, it's so good. Every
Yeah.
time that someone like is trying to like fuck me over a little bit, I'm like, hold on, let me just see which one I can use.
Don't shine out the
here.
master. Don't outshine the master, bitch.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So, anyways, what I was saying is like the law of attraction, right? If you put shit out into the world, you're gonna get shit right back. It's like garbage in, garbage out. The more quality that you put out is the quality you're gonna get back, right? Like I always tell newer agents, like you're not skilled, you're as skilled as you need to be, which it's okay, it comes with time, but like you're going to attract kind of weird situations and transactions and deals and until you learn how to kind of see that coming from a mile away, like we can see it coming from a mile away, right? Like we've been in the business for a while, but in the beginning you don't see it and you attract a lot of shit. I mean, it is what it is. It's the growing pains of real estate or anything really, but even with this Homes for Heroes thing, like yeah, you do still have to put in work. You still have to give it a great effort and you can reap the rewards after the fact, but yeah, it's what you put out.
Yeah, it's
that
not
you're
like
gonna get back.
it's not like you can buy a pair of Jordans and put them on and now you're Michael Jordan. Right?
Yeah, but when I was
That's what a
when
lot
I
of
was
people
12,
think.
I thought that was how it
Yeah,
worked.
absolutely.
Yeah,
That's how
just
we all
because
think it works.
just because you watch Bruce Lee movies doesn't mean you know karate.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I like
But
that one.
Here's the thing that people need to realize, and I think the lesson that comes with this: when you become involved with the Homes for Heroes program, it forces you to become involved in the community. It forces you, because you can't have a shallow relationship and show up and talk to the local firefighter one time and you're going to get business from it. You got to show up at the picnics. You got to show up at the VFW things. You got to show up at the get-togethers and just be there. And it teaches you to become involved in the community at a deeper level. That's where it really starts to click in,
And it just makes you a better person, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, being around those
That's what
people
life is
that-
about,
Yeah.
right? It's connecting and being involved.
I was watching.
Sometimes, go ahead.
I saw this video last night on LinkedIn. Dwayne,
You just lay in your bed and like watch. They
That's
go
all
deep
he
into the
does.
internet.
That's
I
all
know
I do.
you go so deep into it.
oh yeah, and then I start googling and
11:45,
researching.
I get a video, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?" He's like, "Watch it in the morning; it'll change your life." I'm like, "No, it won't."
Again?
Yeah, I know.
You just changed my life
Like when
yesterday.
I sent out that
That's
video.
true.
I sent out like 2 or 3 different videos to like 6 or 7 people last night. I was like, "You gotta watch this video. It's gonna change your lilife." Like that's the go-to. But anyways, I was watching.
You
this
don't want to change my life? I didn't get it.
I didn't get the video either.
Fascinating.
Yeah, okay. So I'll send you some shit tonight.
You
But,
asked for it, remember?
No, I watched this video. about Dwayne Wade, right? So he just retired.
Oh,
He
that
just-
one. Yeah.
Did you see it?
It's amazing.
Did you see it?
It makes
in
you
the-
cry.
Yeah, it makes you cry, right?
That's why he
Like,
didn't send it to you, Tom. He knew you already saw it.
Well, I'm a crier.
I didn't share that video. But anyways, so basically the guy had an incredible career, 3-time champion, MVP, like really, really good basketball player, but even better human being, right? Like he swapped jerseys with like top players every single game this whole season because he knew it was going to be his last year in basketball. Well, the commercial, the video, I think it's a Bud Light.
It's a Budweiser. yeah.
Budweiser.
Mhm.
And basically,
Bud Heavy.
They introduce him to 5 people. He has no idea who he's meeting at center court, and it's his mom, a girl who her brother passed away, who idolized Dwayne Wade, who helped get them a scholarship, and a couple other people like that. Totally had an incredible impact on their lives, and it just makes you think like, yeah, it's what it's all about, right? You got to grow as a human being too.
Mostly.
Yeah.
You don't grow, you die.
Not growing or dying. And like bringing it back to Real Team, that's why we go all in on the coaching. I mean, I don't know of any other real estate company that can honestly say our agents get one-on-one coaching every single week. right? Like hardcore too.
Right.
I mean, that's what makes it different is, you coach a ton of people, Dave. That you are influencing their lives. Like you are literally helping them change their mindsets, set goals that maybe they've never had before. Like you're making a difference with people, right? When you coach somebody, it's impactful. Hopefully,
Yeah.
you're a good coach.
Yeah. I mean, and if it's not, I would fully expect to get that feedback that maybe it's something's ineffective or whatever. Until then, I'll just keep doing the same thing. But I just try to find out what's important to that person, each individual person. Find out what it is that drives them. What are they after? What is it that's important to them? What do they want out of this job or out of this career? And help coach them to get to that.
Who's coaching you, Dave?
Chandler, I've called you a ton of times. Danny, just Annette. I mean, everybody.
Good.
It's one big coaching.
So let me add this. Coming into Real Team, it was obvious early on. You're on the phone at 7 a.m. When I walk in the door in the office, you guys are on this phone. I'm like, who the hell are they? Are they talking to clients already? No, they're getting coached up. Like everybody in the building is getting coached up from 7 a.m. on. I've never seen anything like it. And I'm not going to mention other brokers' names, but I've been to some. When I first got my real estate license, I went to a big box broker and a small broker, and that was not happening. Not at 7 a.m.
Even at QL.
No, not that early.
No.
It's like get it early, get it often, like get it, make it happen.
And it's funny because I feel like some days we get so annoyed. Like it's like 7:15 and I'm like, fuck. Chandler, do you really have to talk so loud right now? Like I'm just trying to get my day started.
You were coming after somebody for talking loud?
I know.
Really?
I know.
I know.
I know, right?
I know.
Hey, give me a percentage. What's the percent that you actually listen to that call while standing naked? Because for me, it's high. Like I'm usually in my bathroom when
mine
I'm
is 0% because I'm in the office before 7 every day.
Makes you better than me.
I agree with you.
That's another thing. Like, why are we in? Like, it's real estate, right? Real estate is not alive at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, right? People don't come in until
what? But
what?
it's plug and play, right? It can be. You can call it real estate. You could call it basketball. You could call it the military. You could call it being a cop. Whatever you want. You can approach things the same way. Like high level people approach things the same way. I don't care if it's baking cookies. If you want to be the badass cookie baker, you're in there at 7 o'clock, right? Like if you're a high level individual, it doesn't matter what you're doing.
High level players coach before the game and after the game. They're practicing before and after, right?
Mm-hmm.
And during.
I mean, I truly believe that my most impactful hours are from 7 to 9, just because I have my best conversations. Because most people, even if they're in the office, their energy is low. I mean, it's the morning, right? They're fucking tired.
We talked today at 7:45.
We did, and it was great, right?
It was
but like,
awesome.
I have when I'm with you in the morning, you're there at like 7:30. Like, I feel like I don't know. It just sets the tone for the day, right? Like, it's so much fun to be in there early before everyone else. And if it's just him and I in the office and he's on the phone fucking up, and I'm like, is this what you're gonna do all day? You should just go home, man. What are you doing?
Well, here's the other thing.
It's so much fun.
When you have a culture that's like that, right? So. Isn't it really easy to tell when you roll in the office at 7:45 and you look around, you're like, who's here? Aren't those the people? You're like, those are the people I want in my foxhole. Those are the people. That's my core. Those are the people I want to take with me, right? Like it's so easy to tell who are the ones that are bought in.
Right. And when you say take with me, I think like when I look around at 7:45, those are the people that I'm giving my buyers to, my sellers
That's what
to.
I mean. Yeah.
Those are the people that I'm trusting. Those are the people that, like, if I need something, I'm going to them. And those are the people that I'm going to focus on because I know that they care.
Right. It's important to them.
100%. All right, moving on. So rapid fire round.
We got 5 minutes left.
Yeah, you guys got to think of each think of a question to ask Jamie. I'll start first. Favorite book, business or real estate related?
Think and Grow Rich.
Why?
It changed my life. It was the
Napoleon Hill, right?
It was the first book that I read that, when I was coming up and I was looking for answers, that gave me a perspective on what was available.
How many times have you read that book in your life?
5 times.
That's 2 questions.
Yeah. That's 2, but
it was like 4.
I
Anyways.
love that book.
Tom, go.
Favorite band? Who's your favorite band? You're a music guy. Who's your? I don't think I know this
Favorite
actually.
band
I don't know if you've actually.
You can't say yourself.
Yeah, Pop Evil.
That would not be my
Pop
favorite
Evil
band.
with me.
Yeah, right?
Check them out.
Well, I mean, it's pretty good. God, a favorite band.
That's on the spot. I know it's hard for you. You maybe don't have one. I don't know.
I would have to say the Chili Peppers are right up there, but then Crosby, Stills, and Nash. I dig all of it.
No, it's the Chili Peppers.
Yeah,
for you.
a funky kind of thing like that. Yeah.
All right. My question's gonna go deep because I like going deep, James.
All right, let's do that.
So you are one of the. You remind me of Tom. You're one of the most positive people I know. Even when
Except
you're having
for
a shitty
today.
day. Except for today, you fucking sucked so bad today. But either way, you're smiling again. So, what is like? You've been in sales for a while, and some days I'm like, fuck, I want to kill myself. I just want to jump off a building. I don't want to do this. Like, what is one piece of advice that you can give me or anybody else that, like, how do you just keep the positive attitude? And I don't want a cheesy answer. Like, how do you stay positive when it fucking sucks?
Yeah. Well, you just have to. I mean, you don't really have a choice. For me, it's staying positive is, because the opposite is giving up, right? I have to stay positive because I want more. I want better. It's just the drive. It's just internal. And, yeah.
So what if I don't have that internal drive? What do I do? Or what would you do if you don't have it?
So.
Because you didn't always have it, I would have to assume. You weren't born with it.
Well, no, you have to set a routine. So you have to get used to, and I've seen a lot of this from Joe Rogan's podcast. You have to set a routine that you're really uncomfortable with and that pushes you outside of your comfort zone, and you fucking execute it. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you get up at 4, like we were talking about with the video this morning, if you get up at 4.
It's earlier now. It was 4:30 before.
Put your shoes on.
Well, that's Dave,
If you
that's
get up,
Dave.
the video we watched this morning with
Would've been 5.
Gobbins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, embrace the suck, right? So if you get up at 4 and your goal is to start running, when you wake up at 4:30, 4 o'clock, do you feel like running? Fuck no. Put your shoes on and go, right? And when you come back, you'll be glad you did it. And the next, and the next, and the next. Just embrace the thing that you don't want to do, and suddenly your expectation and your level of possibility is beyond. There it is.
Is this
it's
Jay
gonna be our
Nummer?
outro music. Yeah, this is a Jay Number song.
Yeah,
right.
that's
Well-
the song.
Did you write this one?
I did write that.
It sounds like Tom's kicking us off so we can listen to the music at the end. So thanks, Jane. We love you. Thanks for coming.
Hey,
Yeah.
Hey, for our listeners out there, you guys don't want to miss next episode. D Schick in the house.
D-Chick.
And he's super comfortable talking in front of people. It's great.
Thanks, Jamie.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Great song. Love that song.
Good outro.